Basically, most of the people who start training street workout or calisthenics are impressed by the static or dynamic elements that are performed in the sport. Front levers, planches are very impressive. Even a simple dragon flag is extremely good looking skill. For most of the people out of the field of street workout, the human flag or handstand push-up can be a proof of superhuman strength. The freestyle category is very impressive, and that's why I'm going to tell you how to implement the skill training into your workout routine. The first rule that I always say is to never train to overall fatigue. That's why you will always train the most difficult skills at the beginning. The golden rule is to be fresh at every workout, so you can focus on the technique and proper execution of the exercise. Training not to 100% every time will make you able to train very often. That's the key in learning skills. Train hard, but not to fatigue, and definitely not to failure. And the high frequency is necessary. By high frequency, I mean at least 3 times a week, and the more skilled trainings you will have, you will need to smartly divide the whole volume into these days. 3 days should be harder than 6, remember that. Usually the strength trainings should not last more than 45 to 60 minutes. The fact that more advanced athletes have static trainings taking over 2 hours bases on the fact that it is not very demanding for them to hold these elements. They spend less time on extremely advanced skills, but they can perform regular planches or front levers for long sessions because it is not demanding for their bodies. During this period of time, I recommend to choose about 3 to 4 exercises that are helping you to achieve the exact skill and perform 2 to 4 sets of each exercise. In other sports, the dynamic strength movements are performed before any more static movements. As an example, in Olympic weightlifting, firstly we perform snatch or clean jerk exercises to use the most of the energy for main lifts. Accessory exercises such as squats or heavy pulls are more often after main lifts of a discipline, or even on the other day when we focus more on the static strength skills. In street workout we call the isometric elements such as front lever or planche the static, so here there's a big difference. And instead of putting the dynamic exercises for progression of the static holds as first exercises, we put them after holding the isometric position so our brain can memorize and adapt to the proper position of our body. That's why we use progressions of each isometric static hold. From my experience, Prilepin's table or even a book which I can honestly recommend, Science and Practice of Strength Training by Vladimir Zatsiorski and William Kramer, the best period of time for progression of the isometric holds is 6 to 8 seconds. That's why if you get 12 to 15 seconds of any progression, you should get immediately to another which will be more difficult for you. Our body adapts very quickly to the static movements, that's why holding a tuck front lever for 30 seconds is a waste of time and energy. And the dynamic exercises such as raises, openings, presses, negatives, some pulls, pushes in certain positions while progressing a skill are the accessory exercises which should be chosen and based on our weak points to eliminate them. Moreover, because of the fact that if you want to learn a certain movement which requires strength and you don't want to hold the position for the eternity, as also you don't want to swing on the bar like a monkey for many reps. For easier exercises that we put as the least in our skill training, I recommend to do 4 to 8 reps, and for the medium or difficult exercises 2 to 6 is very optimal. Never perform any hold or exercise to the failure. It needs a very big expense of energy and no one has boundless reserves of energy. Here you can find 2 example routines for practicing your front lever and planche. Every exercise is performed in the demanding form to develop necessary stimulus for strength increment while maintaining proper technique, frequency and intensity. You can of course use the resistance band to instantly feel how to perform the exercises in the least full form, but not to make the exercise easier. That's a mistake. Rubber bands in training the statics are used to adapt to the full form of the exercise, not to make your current form easier. Training frequently and not to over fatigue doesn't mean easy trainings. It means a smart periodization at proper intensity to constantly develop a stronger stimulus demanded for adaptation and the increase of strength. You always must exceed the range above the smallest volume needed to progress and still not lead to overloaded volume. Always listen to your body. If it needs less, do less. If you progress, don't change your methods. If you feel tired of everything, cut the volume. Note that the street workout and calisthenics static skills require basic strength, which you should achieve by performing basic exercises such as push-ups, pull-ups, dips and many others to build the required strength and to increase the coordination of your body. Before you start learning the skills, you should firstly feel very comfortable with the basic exercises. There's no certain number of reps you should be doing before you start learning the static skills. There's just being comfortable with basics, that's all. Just see how much time gymnasts spend on building the fundamental strength. Very important thing is to choose proper skill for you at the certain moment. Start from easy skills and then progress to more advanced, so you can get experience, feeling with this training scheme and the technique. The constant increment of self-body control as also the linear progress will make you feel happy that your hard work always pays off. If you will push yourself too much, you will be drawn in your own ambitions and this may lead to overload and discouragement. I'll just quote very intelligent words by Jim Wendler, very famous powerlifter and author of 5-3-1 training methods. Start light, progress slowly but continuously. Remember my piece of advice: strength requires adaptation. You just need the time.